Welcome from GenX, that's Lawrence and me,
Hello.
to the very first ever The Morning Whatever.
Right.
This is our,
Or the daily whatever, whatever.
the daily whatever. See, Lawrence, I'm so groggy that I got the name wrong.
You
Um,
you have a legit excuse. It's 7 a.m. where you are. It's 10 a.m. for me, and I mean I literally look like I just rolled out of bed, but whatever. I've been up
whatever.
for hours. Mr. T, very
Yeah,
funny.
I am drinking from one of my three favorite tea mugs, but can you see what's happening here?
Ooh, is that a marshmallow?
No, it's a crack. That's a tea bag in there,
Oh,
but the
oh, the crack in your cup. I was trying to I was like, is that bread? Are you drinking French onion soup?
no. Hi, Walter.
Hey,
Medium.
Walter.
When medium buddies show up, it's the best.
Nice.
Um, so just to introduce what we're doing here a bit, Lawrence and I, for a while now, almost always start our day with a phone call, generally while I'm driving to my job because I am now forced to return to office 5 days a week. And so I was like, why don't we just make a morning show? And because it's for Gen XC, we're going to call it the Daily Whatever. And we're just going to talk about whatever there is to talk about, but we're going to do it with a Gen X focus. And also, it's just going to be us being us. That's a nice idea. Thanks, Walter. Oh my gosh. Well, we're after the first few, we're going to start just dragging people on. Um, Hopefully, we're not really dragging them. They're willingly coming on to join us. And I would love for you to join us, Walter. So we're going to definitely,
Brace
but
yourself. One of these days soon.
that's right. And Lawrence, do you notice there's something slightly different about me other than I'm groggy and I only just had my first sip of tea?
Well, this feels like I'm being put on the spot, and
You
so
are.
audience, help me.
It's
Your
something
hair looks
making,
lovely.
oh God, bedhead. It is about my appearance. And this is the
The
thing, Lawrence.
girls are out. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, so it is kind of about that. Sorry, I'm bouncing right now because Kira, my dog, is licking my arm that's holding this thing. Um,
Don't
no,
worry,
it's
BJ. Boomers are welcome. Everybody's welcome here in GenX.
everybody is welcome, except
Well,
Trumpy.
except Trump.
Except for
You're
fascists.
not
No
welcome.
fascists
Everyone
are
else.
welcome, unless they're looking to change their minds, in which case, come on in. No, what I never, Lawrence, ever. Do you ever see me wearing like white or off white?
No, in fact, never. For as long
Yes.
as I've known you.
Yeah, maybe in the 80s I did. It's partially because, except for the haters, yes. The other side, the red pill of Substack, we know it's there, but like we don't like to talk about it. Um, so I never wear white or off white, in part because I'm clumsy and I spill shit and I don't want to stain my clothes. But mostly I don't think it looks that good on me, and I'm more of a dark toned kind of girl. But here's the funny story. It's another travel story. There is a store in Ireland, a chain called Dunn's. I don't know if you remember it from being there, Lawrence, but
Yeah.
Dunn's, it's kind of like their Target, I guess. It's a
Yeah.
department store. It's really affordable. And last summer, my family and I had a very brief touchdown in Dublin because Aer Lingus uh,
Messed
was late.
everything.
Yes, they messed everything up. We were connecting Amsterdam to Dublin to Seattle. We missed our connecting flight. They put us up in a hotel, but they also lost our bags. So we had to race. I wrote a story about this called The Hunt for Undies in Dublin, because I was like, I would like a clean pair of underwear for all of us before we take this very long flight home. But I didn't know anything in Dublin. And so we got in a cab, and I was just like, the only department store I could find online was called Arnott's. And we went there, and that's like their Neiman Marcus. I mean, it was like $50 underwear. But the nice woman at the lingerie counter was like, "You really want Dunn's? It's across the street." And we had like 20 minutes before the shops closed, and we bolted across the street to Dunn's. And I bought basics for the family, for the four of us. And David loves that Dunn's black T-shirt. I bought him more than any other shirt. So, in going back to Ireland, he was like, "We have to go to Dunn's." I just thought there should be a sunset boomer. Uh, Subset boomer, younger siblings. Oh yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I Lawrence and I are both eldest kids, but I love that. Um, it will be your adopted younger siblings. So this trip when we went back, we were like, we have to go to Dunn's, and we did. And I bought this T-shirt, not this one, but this same T-shirt, but in really dark red. in Galway because I saw it and it was €6. And I was like, that t-shirt is perfect. It's my exact favorite color and I love the cut. And I put it on and I can never find t-shirts that fit me properly these days because I am a high-waisted, curvy, chubby woman and t-shirts are long and straight usually.
Right.
And
And a 38H, is that right?
it is a 38. Lawrence, I've lost a little weight. I think I might be a G now.
Ooh.
At any rate, so when we got to Dublin, we did that in Galway, and when we got to Dublin, they're done.
I'm wearing my queer as fuck t-shirt specifically for this conversation.
Oh,
I'm allowed to talk about her boobs, everybody.
Lawrence is my gay best friend, so I have to ask these questions of, does this shirt look okay on me? Because we went to Dunn. Sorry, I'm making this story so long, and they had the shirt,
Seriously,
but
TikTok, come on.
only in off white and like taupe, and I bought them because I like the shirt so much. So hold on, I'm going to stand up for a second and say, look how cute this top is. Like, it's a lot of boobs, I know, but like it fits perfect. And am I okay in off white on camera? That's the question.
Not
Sound
tomorrow,
off.
you're not.
What's that?
I said not tomorrow, you are not.
That tomorrow I should not wear off white.
Correct.
Okay, so no off white. You don't like the shirt?
The shirt is great. The girls look amazing. It washes you out.
Yeah, I think so a little bit too, but maybe the fit is worth it. So I'll put like a cardigan over it. So I have like a burst of color against it.
Yeah.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yes.
Um,
But let's
now
talk
that I've had
about
my bestie confab, we want to talk about Gen X news because
I mean, there's always Gen X news, and it seems like Gen X is a sudden undiscovered topic of conversation. Articles are popping up everywhere. So
isn't that weird?
there's
Isn't that weird? Like we were never talked about in the news before, Lawrence, and now suddenly it's just like, but what is
yeah,
it?
I feel like there are a couple of reasons, right? Like we are actually at the point in our lives and our career where we should be in positions of leadership and influence.
Yes.
And um, apparently America loves nothing more than a conversation about the intergenerational rivalry that apparently exists between all of generations, out of which we're usually, we're usually left out.
Yeah, that's the
So
punchline. Oh, but we forgot Gen X. Always the punchline. Right?
yeah. So, there was the New York Times article that we talked about last week or the week before, I guess. And obviously, we had really strong reactions to it. And now I'm seeing all kinds of articles pop up. So, there's one in Court, which is, kind of an online, fairly respected newsletter, online magazine kind of thing about how, we're supposed to be peaking right now. This is our time. And, instead of peaking, our careers and our finances are tanking. And
Really? I don't know anyone that's happening to, Lawrence. We're all
yeah,
like
gosh,
ready.
huh? Who could that be? So definitely vibing with that one.
Right?
And it focuses a lot on how the current, the tariff mishigas and the markets tanking and everything are specifically impacting us at a time where we're supposed to be figuring out how we're going to retire or
Right.
caretake or send kids to college, for example.
Lawrence, can I cut in for 1 second? Because this is
Yes.
so reminding me. Go back in the Wayback Machine, early 90s. And we had think pieces like this of this is the time when we're supposed to be taking flight because we're graduating and there's a huge recession.
Right.
It
Right.
was the
So,
same thing at the other end of our career, the bookends of our career.
right. You and I specifically started college in 88, which was, in theory, up to that point, the hardest year to get into colleges, apparently.
Was it really?
And yeah,
Okay. Go
yeah.
on.
And then 92, when we graduated, was a recession. And, that absolutely messed up early career launch and whatnot. And yeah, since then we've I don't know, seen the, dot-com boom and bust, the 2008 housing market collapse, all the
Mhm.
things.
More layoffs. Actually, I can count. I've been through 11. I've been
11
through 11.
layoffs?
Yes, and I survived 8. But since I like career changed into tech, so since like the early 2000s, Wait, no, actually, in the early 2000s, things were more stable. Since the Jobster layoff, January 2nd, 2007, where I
Mm.
was laid off, and you were not. Congratulations. You got to stay at that insane place. Um, yeah, I've been through 11 rounds of layoffs.
Yeah, I've never counted, but it's probably comparable, I would think, after all the time at Amazon and Microsoft and various places.
Yeah. So, what is this story that you're talking about have to say about us, the climax of Gen X, us peaking?
It says we're fucked, basically.
Good.
You know, I mean, it's really just kind of outlining what's happening. It doesn't offer any, profound analysis or insight other than, gosh, this is happening at a terrible time for them. I think it kind of casts it as, isn't it interesting that Gen X is having its viral moment in the sun right as everything is collapsing out from under them? And
Isn't it funny that
right, I mean, I, is that interesting? I like we're the first generation that has our all of our Schadenfreude moments, virally broadcast around the world. How innovative of us,
right? And
which
let's
we
just
have
say that
always been.
Lawrence, we're ahead of time because we've been talking about this for so long that we launched a freaking newsletter on Substack
Right,
called Gen
called Gen
X
XC.
to talk about the ways in which we recognize we are uniquely fucked because we're first. Millennials, if you're on the call, or Gen Zs, like you have it worse, but we're facing it first. But like we would not be fucked like this if we all had pensions because pensions were stable.
Right.
The
Or
401ks are not stable.
right, or unions where,
Or
we had
unions.
some voice in the workplace and we're not just wholly at the whims of management. We yeah, the Reagan revolution changed the way, retirement planning and economics overall was managed in this country, and here we are 40 plus years later sort of reaping the harvest of that, and it ain't great.
There's nothing to eat.
Right, right, yeah, literally Papa needs to go grocery shopping and can't afford to at the moment. um I thought it was interesting though. So I know we have a really fun article to talk about, but I was really happy to see today that Forbes had an article written by an author that I don't know, somebody named Caroline Castrillon. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing her last name correct, obviously, but it's 7 critical ways Gen X strengthens your leadership pipeline. And,
Ooh,
it's this really
a positive story
lovely
behind.
article that talks about we're, adaptable. We have all this leadership potential. We have all this institutional memory. Like when the
Wait,
printer
it's
breaks, don't you want someone who actually knows how to fix the printer?
no,
Not
don't
that,
make us candlesticks again. Good
no,
grief.
I mean, the nice thing about it is that it's really recognizing that, you know, of the generations in the workplace, we kind of have the most fluency in all of the things because we, yes, we remember kind of pre-internet workplaces, but we've also been at the leading edge. I've had conversations with younger people who are, kind of like, okay, boomer, to which, sorry, BJ, I'm like, I'm not a boomer.
Right,
But also, who do you think was building the things that you like to use? Like
right.
TikTok didn't appear sui generis out of, the ether. Like there are millennials and Gen X and probably some boomer folks who actually made those things
Yes.
actually work.
I do have to ask one question, Lawrence. Did the article actually say we have a lot of potential?
Uh, I mean,
Right.
I don't think it said leadership potential. So it's basically making the case that we're kind of at a career sweet spot where we, have the experience and the knowledge under our belts to actually make a difference. And, the thing that I've been saying for a while, which is like the generational cycle is slightly off right now because for the first time in history, people are living longer and people are living productively longer. So boomers who, you know, might have retired 5 or 10 years ago
Still
don't
going.
want to retire because they're still, young at heart and active and healthy and feel like they can contribute, which I get it. I would probably feel the same way. But what it means is that some of those leadership positions haven't opened up, and Gen X hasn't moved into those leadership positions, and millennials are absolutely at a point in their careers where they're like, I'm ready to be a director or a senior director, or VP. And, so there's kind of a logjam at the leadership levels.
That's that's really interesting to hear, Lawrence. And I think I have a jaded, or not jaded, but like a slanted perspective living in Seattle and working in tech because the leaders are older than I am. Are you sorry, younger than I am? I don't see any hardly boomer leaders. I see some Gen X leaders, but I see a lot of people younger than me who are moving into those really high level leadership roles. So when I heard Gen X has leadership potential, I'm just picturing some 35-year-old being like, Dana, I think you have a lot of potential. And me being like, sweetie, I've been living my potential. This is it.
Right.
I have been living my potential.
Right. Don't
Also,
forget to mime the cigarette and, oh no, Mr. T, it's leaking.
it's not quite dripping, but I think I may have to retire Mr. T, and I'm
That's
sad.
very sad.
I can get another one, but I'm trying. This is a sorry, little pitch. I don't know this person, and I'm not paid. I'm not an influencer, but Lenny Mug on Etsy, LENNYMUDD, makes the coolest mugs, and the shape is perfect, and the size holds the size like a big cup of tea, like I need in the morning. And they're funny, and they're cool mugs. So I just may have to go.
Right. You
Get
said
it.
that didn't sound like a plug, but it absolutely sounded like a
I'm
plug.
sorry, it's a plug, but it's not a paid plug. I don't know Lenny,
Right? Like
nor
we're
nor am
not
I
getting
getting
any
paid.
money for this, folks.
No,
She
no,
just
no.
loves it that much.
It's an honest endorsement. I love. I guess I don't know if it's a they, like a company name or a he. I think it's an artist named Lenny Mudd. I love
Yeah.
his mugs.
So anyway, talk about the funny article. Your
All right.
friend, Robin
Yes,
Wilding.
Robin Wilding. I'm sure some of you on this call either know her or follow her. She is a comedic writer on Medium and Substack. I know her because we kind of grew up on Medium a bit together, but she's super killing it on Substack, and she is very funny. So if you are not following her, you should be. And she is in the story. She says she's 43, so she is millennial, borderline exennial. But she states in it, please do not call me Gen X because I am terrified of them. Lawrence, I'm not in front of my laptop, as you know, because if I move in there and I set the phone down, we're going to lose my audio. So I may need you to pull up the story because I'm forgetting the exact title, but it's something about how Gen X is feral and we all fear them. And it's quite tongue in cheek, but it is very, very funny. And I thought in parts very, very true. Although there were some parts that I was like, oh, she is describing in some ways non-Gen Xy Gen Xers. And let me explain what I mean by that, though I think Lawrence knows. It talks a lot about unhealed trauma. Uh, shit, I should really I may have to walk in there and pull up the story. I'm going to, so I don't misquote Robin because she is very funny in
My
ways
favorite
that
part of the article is how every time she references Gen X, she uses another name for us, like
WTF.
Gen, oh my fucking God, or
Jen,
Gen for fuck's sake, or fuck
OMFG.
around and Gen fuck around and find out, which
That's
not
kind
make
of
me
true.
happy.
Yeah. We're here. I have to set you down. Tell me if I lose the audio again, Lawrence. Uh, while I boot up here. Isn't this exciting? This is live TV. Find it. Woo! There's my monitor coming on. Um,
I thought, one of the things that struck me about the article is it does deal in a lot of like Gen X, stereotypes and cliches, but there are things about our generation that I'm legit proud of. Like I like the fact that we're innovative and scrappy because, we had to be. Like I absolutely remember a childhood of, you know, like your choices were to do chores or to go run around outside, for hours and hours at a time with the other
right.
neighborhood kids and make shit up because there was no other choice.
Right. And so the story I have pulled up here is Gen X is feral and not to be fucked with. So I was pretty close on the title.
Right.
And The image is of this bald, bearded, muscly guy with tattoos standing in front of a tattoo shop saying, with a bubble, which is very Gen XY, called, I don't poke this, I don't care bear. And of course, that so reminded me of you because to me, you are king of the bears. Um,
I'm not sure the International Bear Consortium agrees with you, but thank you.
to me, you will always be king of the bears. Um, here's part of her opening. It says that she's talking about the generational battle, like we were saying, the news loves to talk about. Gen Z flippantly calls the elders boomers, generally accompanied with an eye roll. Boomers say Gen Z can't afford houses because of their affinity for avocado toast, ignoring the fact that a bag of avocados costs 12 times what it used to. Kind of millennials who got the avocado thing, I thought, but we'll let that go. Millennials are the butt end of jokes while trying to interpret between the boomers and the zoomers. If you're wondering, where's Gen X? In the intergenerational shit war, Gen X generally stays out of it. But who exactly let Gen X off the hook? We all did. They terrify us. I laughed hard. Thank
Feel
you.
the scene,
I
right?
know, are we that scary? I don't think we're that scary, Lawrence.
I don't think we're particularly scary. Except for the portion of Gen X that, voted for
Oh,
Trump and actually got him back into office. You know,
yes. We
those
talked
people
about
terrify me, but it's an ignorance question, not a generational question.
they're called the X generation because they're so intimidating that they didn't even get a real name.
I mean, I feel like Douglas Copeland, who wrote Generation X, might, dispute the fact that we weren't given a name. We were named after a very popular book at the time, and a suboptimal movie that starred, oh God, well, I'm showing my age because I can't remember any of the actors who
Hold
starred in it.
on. That's so interesting because I don't remember the movie. Hold on, Jen, I'm typing
Oh
really
God, it
quickly.
was. Oh, actually, maybe the movie was the Less Than Zero movie. Wasn't that his
Nope.
follow-up book to Generation X?
Nope. Generation X 1996 sci-fi action. Oh, this looks Marvel. It's a Marvel movie.
Okay, that's not based on the book.
Yeah, no, it's not. But you, because you know me and music, do you remember the band Generation X?
I do not. I do
Uh,
not.
it was a little early for us, but it featured a lead singer with blonde, spiky, bleachy hair you may have heard of named Billy Idol.
Hmm.
And
I
they
believe
had
I've heard of that gentleman. Yes.
yes, and they have oh my God, Lawrence, this is I just poured my second cup of tea, you guys, so my brain is coming back online a little. Hang on. And they have a song.
All right. Now you're breaking up. You've done the thing. You've set us down.
No, I'm holding it now.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right. You cut
I'm
out there for a minute.
intentionally I'm intentionally holding it so that I don't. Um, and they have a song called Your Generation, which is funny. That's not the one I'm thinking of. Was it Kiss Me Deadly? Because that's a different song I know by Lita Ford. I don't know. But I do remember there was one song like very early MTV, they were getting airplay, but then Billy Idol, did his whole white wedding thing and
Went
he,
solo.
he didn't need Generation X anymore. I mean, he did need all of us because who made Billy Idol famous? Um, and speaking of people aging well, like we are, Lawrence, Billy Idol,
Wow.
nice
Okay.
segue.
I'll allow it. Yeah.
Billy Idol, have you seen him lately?
I have not.
Oh, you should look him up. He's aging so well and with such dignity. Like,
Really?
yes, he's
Okay. That
charming
is.
on social media. He's very good looking still and very fit. And he has an adorable granddaughter who he brought on stage at, I forget, Coachella, one of those big music festivals. I don't remember which one. But he's a very proud grandfather and just seems like he is living his best life.
Oh yeah, he's aging well. Which is interesting because of all the people in the world who I thought the, you know, uh, aphorism "rode hard and put away wet" would have applied to.
Right?
Yeah, good for him.
I think he invested his money and also I'm sure he did his share of sex drugs with his rock and roll, but he also did a lot of like bench presses and maybe got off the drugs and alcohol before it made him ugly.
Yeah, I thought you were about to do a plug for like TD Ameritrade or something right there. Billy Idol invested his money wisely.
He has a Schwab Advanced financial advisor
Right.
who's helping him weather this financial storm. No,
Yeah.
I have no opinion on such matters. I have opinions on tea mugs, Lenny Mud tea mugs, and many other and Dunn's T-shirts for $6. Sorry, you cannot get them in the U.S.
Right. But not in
And
white or taupe because they wash you out.
Lawrence, I'm going to try the taupe one for another call. My kid said the taupe was better, and I was like, I feel like it's too dull. This one, I feel like brings out the bleachy stripe a little. I think this one will be okay with a cardigan over it. So there's like, because I don't like, maybe I'll try stark white, but I doubt it. I don't like light colors. I just like this T-shirt so much, and I have to wear it because I brought it
Tune in
home.
every day for fascinating conversations like this, folks.
Y'all, if you have a gay best friend, you have to ask him for advice about stuff like
If
this.
you want to know what my mornings are like as Dane is driving into work,
Well, I'm not usually on video, so I don't.
that's
That
true. That's
that would
true.
be hazardous.
It's
That would be
it's
hazardous.
lots of politics interspersed by moments like this.
Yes, that's why this is called the daily whatever.
The daily whatever, because it could
You
be
don't know.
whatever. Like we could talk about the fact that Pete Hegseth, the theoretically soon resigning Secretary of Defense,
I'm here.
apparently
Yeah.
is building a makeup studio in the Pentagon so that he can beat that mug properly before he does his TV avails, I suppose.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Because, they're running the government so efficiently that with the money left over, I guess, he can build a makeup studio inside of the Pentagon.
he doesn't. Wow. That's funny because this administration appeals to red pill like pseudo alpha male shitbags. That's the least masculine. Like, I have no problem with. I like men in eyeliner, in fact. So I'm not going to say it's not masculine to wear a little makeup sometimes. But red pillars would say, you
Sure.
know what they would say about it, Lawrence, and it's not kind.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, but okay, like full tea, no shade
Yeah,
would. He's hot. I can't help it. I mean,
yeah.
I know
Fine.
they're like Nazi tattoos and shit, but they look hot on him. I wouldn't marry him, but like a hate fuck, absolutely.
I was just going to say, hey, good morning, Greg. You
She
would,
joined us for the weirdest comment.
yes.
Congratulations.
So you would fuck and kill, but not marry, is what you're telling me.
Sure. Oh, kill for sure. Yeah, but
I would
fuck
kill. He would
first.
be my kill for sure. I mean, he does have sort of that like, hate-filled Ken doll, like classic good looks sort of thing. But I'm liking this segment very much on would or would not fuck, kill, marry. So you would. Okay. Well, I'm going to say something controversial and say I think he'd be into it.
Uh, I don't think that's controversial, and I agree with you. I mean,
He looks like a gay man to me.
yeah, I
So,
mean, or bi. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with
sorry,
bi, right?
no bi erasure. Yeah, we are
Hegseth
coming in.
absolutely looks like somebody who, joined a frat and then sucked a bunch of dicks while he was in the frat, and
Yeah, and married. I'm sure his wife is someone well connected and
apologies to anyone who
lovely.
joined a frat and sucked a bunch of dicks while they were in the frat.
Not that there's anything wrong with that,
There's
but he
nothing wrong with it.
definitely he's definitely
There's
the
only something
guy.
wrong with it when you're using your powers for evil and not good. If you're
Or
trying to oppress the world and bring about 1,000-year Reich, then not cool.
not cool at all, and send our troops into harm because you're a moron with your cell phone. He absolutely looks like the guy with the like perfect Stepford wife at home who has a Craigslist ad to go meet dudes in an alley somewhere. That's
Right.
who,
And it
who
might be for Fight
simultaneously.
Club or it might
Yeah.
be for sex. You just don't know, honestly.
Well,
Kind of depending on his mood or the evening.
definitely for both. It's at the same time. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
he's beating the shit out of the guy while he's like, "Oh, I want you so bad, but God, I'm going to beat the shit out of you too." That's the
Totally
vibe.
apropos of nothing. I, apparently am 97 now and rising in fiction, which is lovely. Thank you. And I don't have any expectation that I'll keep that. But you know who's number two? a dude who is writing gay porn on Substack, which makes me think I should be writing gay porn on Substack. I'm a great writer.
I think there's I think there's the home for gay porn on GenX because GenX is all about the side hustle. If that's
Right.
what's going to bring the money home, Lawrence, Miss Timony would want you to do it. That's our AP English teacher who, rest in peace, we loved, who
Yes.
started a lot of this. She
Yes.
would
I'm
support
not
this
sure Dana's right. I'm not sure she would actually want me to do that, but
as long as
um,
there were no comma splice errors in your writing. I think she
that's
would.
true. If I manage to work some Chaucer in there,
Some dudes might be into that, but what can I tell you?
sure. Yeah.
I actually think we should always either end or we should always talk during our daily whatevers about what are you writing? Because if there's anything I've realized how long have we been here now, Lawrence? Has it been 2 months yet on Substack? Almost?
I think May 8th will be 2 months.
Okay. So in our month and a half or so on Substack, the one thing I'm realizing is it's hard to make time to write because there's so many like other things to do on Substack, the lives and podcasts and going on other people's podcasts and all the notes. But really, we're here, you and me, and I think a whole lot of us, because we love to write and we love to read. So I want it to keep us focused on like, what's next? So, Lawrence, my dear friend who beat me as best writer senior year of high school at our graduation ceremony, what are you writing? What
Right.
are you
I just
working on?
want to clarify. I outcompeted you. I didn't, beat you with a club or something.
No, you beat me for the trophy. I don't think there was a trophy.
Yeah.
Certificate.
So I am currently working on so folks who don't know, I write queer science fiction, basically. I'm essentially writing the stories that I would have loved to have read as a kid. So I'm working on two things right now. One is the second chapter in my novel, which I guess technically it's the first chapter because the chapter that I published was the prologue. Uh, so I'm working on that. I need to do some edits, and then I will be posting that this week.
Oh,
And
good.
the other one is a short story about uh, cloned gay asteroid miners.
Okay. I
Yeah.
love that. So I did want to pause there and say, Lawrence, what's the name and what's the premise of your book?
Oh God, that's a very nice plug. I'm calling the series because it's going to be a trilogy. I'm calling it the Shattered World series. The first book is called.
Oh, look
Your
who just
brother just
joined.
joined. That's
Oh my
amazing.
God.
Hello, Craig.
Hi, Craig.
So the book title is Light Shines Through. Like I said, I'm serializing it here on Substack. I published the prologue, set 20 years in the future, dystopian sci-fi. The second Civil War has happened. The United States is disintegrated, precipitated by a disastrously gone wrong 2024 presidential election. So, I'm writing against actual current events, which was not true when I started it like 7 years ago. But
Lawrence, I have
um,
to interject here that Lawrence's fictional novel has been a bit of a crystal ball. It's predicted some things quite uncomfortably.
please God, no nuke over DC. But yeah, there's some things that I do feel like I'm kind of trying to write faster than current events, which is a really weird place to be as a fiction writer. So that's the book, and then I'm writing the short story, and those are the things I'm writing. What are you currently working on?
Well, that's a great question.
It's a natural segue.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
shocked that you would ask me that question. I'd be
Sweetheart.
delighted to answer.
You know, um, as I was saying, since coming to Substack, I am not writing nearly as much. So on Medium, I was writing. At my heart, I am a memoirist. I write personal essays, and when they're good, they kind of rip my guts out in writing them. I'm not a fast writer, and but on Medium, I was constantly writing something. So I was generally writing 3 or 4 stories a month, and kind of constantly had You call it the weave, Lawrence, and it upsets me because that word has now been co-opted, but it is weaving together multiple narrative parts. In 2025, I've been averaging like one a month, and I just published one yesterday. So I'm feeling that like relief of finally getting one out there. I would love if you all read it. It's about the trip I just took to Ireland with my family, but it's about a lot more than that. It's about launching one's children out into the world, to college and beyond. It's about what feels like home and when is it too late to feel like one can find a new home. And it's about my, and I think a lot of ours general sense of a lack of safety and assuredness that where the United States can continue to feel like a safe place to be home. And as I'm launching my children, who are dual citizens in the EU and Ireland, does it make sense to help them make that launch overseas because it will be beneficial for them in the future to have two places that they can consider home, even if in doing it and following them there, I'd never quite feel like it's home to me. I know that's a lot. I think the essay brings it all together. And
It's a
I would
great
love,
essay. It's
thank you.
beautifully written. And yeah, I said this yesterday.
Oh,
It,
thank you, Sarah.
it really, that's awesome. Thanks, Sarah. I think even for people who, aren't mothers of children, preparing to go to college, like it really resonates. Like it's a very human story. And I think it kind of speaks to this moment of time where, the idea of, will I always feel safe living in America had never been a question in my mind before. And under this, bizarro regime that we are currently living through, like it really matters. And here I am, 30 years on the West Coast, moved back to Indiana, and very much kind of contemplating, like, as a middle-aged gay man, do I feel safe living in the middle of red America? I'm not sure.
Yes. Thank you for seeing that in the story, Lawrence. It is definitely not something that I think only parents relate to. So thank you for seeing that. I'm now pondering my next story, and I have 167 drafts. I tend to still write in Medium. That's where my drafts live. And which ones I'm going to bring to life. Um, I, I, I am thinking that my next story might be called "Am I a 50-something thirst trap?" And the title is very tongue in cheek, but it's about an experience I had on Substack, which is I like to think of myself as a um, somewhat serious and proficient memoirist who writes about big thoughts and big ideas and cultural conversations. And yet, the one story since I've been here that's really gone viral is the one that I wrote a couple years ago for Medium in about 30 minutes called Hello, I Have Amazing Boobs. And it was very tongue in cheek. They have a publication on Medium called Breast Stories. And when I saw that, I was like, well, I have to write something for Breast Stories. Oh, Diane, hi. Oh my gosh, so many good people who I know in real life joining today. So that story, I actually really, I like the story, and I wrote it because I had just scheduled my mammogram for that year, and I always get a lot of anxiety around that. And so it's about that, and it's also just about that I think it is a big feminist move to own the parts of yourself that you appreciate in your physicality. Like, I like how this looks. And it was a joke that went very viral the first time it ran. It was the number one hit on Google for amazing boobs for like a year. Gotten like exponentially more traffic than anything I've ever written. And it's doing the same for me on Substack. Some like creepy red pill guys found it from, the other side of Substack. And we're like, ooh, one of them wrote this line that's really stuck with me because they're sharing it to their audiences, which I appreciate, except some creepy comment.
For the views, sure. For the sentiment, maybe not so much.
Right. But one guy shared it and said, all women have is their sexuality. That was his comment as he restacked it. And that's really sticking with me because I'm like, first of all, Gen X me is smirking at it because I'm like, dude, I'm in my 50s. I mean, if this does it for you, like, that's kind of remarkable to me that I can still have that impact. that's funny. I've never been like a beauty. So to still have that impact is at this age is funny. But there's a part of it that I'm like, is there an element of truth in that? Will I ever have a story I've written that is, um, you know, a big, bold thought do as well as a clothed photo of my boobs? I think that might be the story that I'm working on next.
Yeah. I, the answer is yes. You will absolutely have a think piece go viral. I
Oh,
so I am sorry that the image that sticks with me is from the very beginning of your comment here, which is that Medium is basically like the guff with all of the unborn babies of your future stories waiting to be born. It's a
yes.
little like, Hebraic deep cut there for everyone, souls of babies waiting in the guff
Right.
of
Are these
David's
like
stories.
they're the IVF embryos that, are just sitting in the refrigerator that the Republicans
Sure,
were like
sure. I
going to go
suppose the
after them with?
modern liberal version of that is like scads of embryos in the freezer waiting to be born. Yeah. But I
You
mean,
know,
here's to your boobs that get you readership and viewership and you know, um so a long time ago, PBS had this amazing tagline that like whatever marketing genius came up with this, I hope one day to meet them and shake their hand. It was something you know, like there are a million stories in the cities that we're never
oh,
building,
yeah.
and we intend to tell them all.
To tell them
And
all.
like every time they played that, I was just like, oh my God, like, yes, like a million stories in the cities we're never done building. Hallelujah. So I
Yeah.
think you have a million stories.
Thank you. And you're
Many
reminding
of
me,
them not
Lawrence,
related to your boobs.
right? You are, yeah. I had one guy who was like, because the picture of me that goes with the story is just me in a t-shirt, but I don't have a bra on in the picture. And some guy wrote back and I sent it to you, Laura. It's the screenshot that he was just like, at 61, I felt most powerful in my late 50s. Yes.
That's awesome, Kelly. Thank you for saying that.
This guy was like, oh, this picture of you with the shirt on is so great. And he was like, "Do if you do more of I can't wait to become a subscriber because I think you're gonna do more of that." I'm paraphrasing. And I was like, "Sir, what did you say? Sir, you're looking for OnlyFans? This is a Wendy's."
Right. Yeah. You're in the wrong place, buddy. I'm so sorry to disappoint.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. But all of this talk about my baby ideas for stories germinating reminds me on Medium today is they declared it a holiday like finish your draft day. So if you are a medium writer, you're supposed to go finish a draft and celebrate it. I have a few bones to pick with Medium because my draft I finished, my story about Dublin, they declined for Boost. And so I published my draft on Substack. So thank you, Medium. I'm not, I'll publish it there eventually, probably, but mostly as a link over because um, I have my thoughts about why they decline this, and I think it's because of the political undertones, and I think Medium is being very cowardly. So, um, uh, boosts are harder to come by these days. Oh, I know. Walter and I are both boost nominators. Um, at the risk of sounding extremely cocky, but I did say it's a feminist act to own what you're good at. It's a completely boost worthy story.
Uh-oh,
I mean,
Greg.
it,
Greg has just derailed our conversation.
Oh, Greg. Yeah. This maybe, we'll make this a topic. As a writer and a Boost nominator, yes, I was making a lot of money in Medium, but not in 2025. It has taken a nosedive. I think a lot of people are experiencing that. I'm optimistic they'll figure things out, but it was very hard to lose Medium at the same time. I felt like I lost my country because Medium has grown me as a writer and sustained me over the last year and a half. And the 180 that happened with their boost program and how they monetize happened in January, right alongside everything else compared to last year. Yeah, Walter does really well. You do really well on both platforms, Walter. You're just amazing. I um I read and watch quite a bit of your content, but I can't keep up with you. You're so prolific. It's amazing. Yeah, it's you guys should if you're not already following Walter, you probably are. I'm making pennies. Yes. Um Greg,
Greg,
you
me
should
too. Dana tried to get me writing on Medium, and I did publish some things there, and I think I've made like a buck 32 in total. I think for me, part of the issue is that everything I write is either queer or political
Right.
or science fiction, and I'm not sure
But
that the intersection of all of those things
it's,
is a big Medium boost category in
you
and of
know,
itself.
the so I run a publication that started on Medium. It's now on Substack too. It's called Pink Hair and Pronouns, and it's for parents and caregivers of trans, non-binary, gender non-conforming kids. Um, and I had a bunch of writers, other either queer folks or parents who were writing their stories, and I could almost all of them would end up getting boosted. I helped edit and bring up a lot of folks there. Since January, none. They are avoiding that topic like the plague. It's almost impossible to know what's boostable anymore. No, to an extent, but also they want things by academics. They want things that are related to tech and personal narrative. I have gotten a couple of things boosted still, but it is highly sentimental and non-offensive. The story about my father in the nursing home that got boosted. The story that I wrote about sitting in the adolescent care center at Seattle Children's Hospital where they have their gender care program. I was there with my older daughter who was there for a different um, healthcare need. But I was sitting there when the executive order dropped, the first one about targeting trans kids. And I wrote about that experience. That did not get boosted. That got purchased by Parent Map in Seattle. And it did do okay, even without being boosted. Like a lot of people read it, but it earned almost nothing because it wasn't boosted. So um, I find it hard to write almost anything right now without politics being part of the narrative because I feel like it's permeating my whole life. So anything that's current, like a trip with my family, is now about things that are intersecting what's happening in the world. And to me, those are the kinds of stories that are interesting. And when I first joined Substack, I was like, oh my God, it's just like ripe with citizen journalism and think pieces. Oh, thanks, Karen. Yeah, Parent Map was a goal for me. And that was the first and so far only story they've run of mine, and I was thrilled because they're a Northwest publication, but they've been around for decades, and um, yes, plus that's what people want to read about. Yes, it's what we want to like. This is a moment in time that's like it needs to be written about citizen journalism, and we really just can't count on our news sources to be authentic sometimes, or just to keep up, right? I knew about those executive orders dropping before I read it in the news because Erin in the Morning on Substack is an incredible journalist writing about trans issues, and she has the news first. And she's always right. It's not like at the beginning, I was like, God, am I wearing a tinfoil hat? And I'm just like, you all need to do your research, like conservatives say. It's not. It's that there's incredible career journalists who've moved here, like the Contrarian, and there's incredible citizen journalists too. Tech is so vanilla and safe, which is why Medium, yeah, like I work in tech. I don't, that's not what I come to Medium or Substack for. So it's nice to see you, Karen. I think, didn't you have written for Pink Hair and Pronouns? We've worked together before. I'm trying to remember if it was Three Imaginary Girls or Pink Hair and Pronouns. Forgive me, I'm menopausal and overloaded. So my memory is like Swiss cheese. But it's very nice to see you. Uh, yeah, Lawrence, I started this with Lawrence saying we can't go over 30 minutes because I have to work today. I got you boosted. Yay, Karen. I love to hear that. It was so sorry. Let me finish my first thought. We were at almost an hour. I will need to drop kind of soon and go put on my, my work hat. We really should have real hats to put on tinfoil and work and otherwise.
Right. Yes, I've got my soon to be covered in tinfoil hat right here.
Love it. I loved the glory days of Medium. That year and a half, like it taught me I could write, it taught me I could edit and lead an editorial vision. And it was so fun to work with writers and to be able to embolden them and to help them like earn money and like gain confidence as a writer. And I will say I begged Lawrence to do it for a while. And sadly, by the time you were up and running and ready to go, I mean, Lawrence, the few stories he put on Medium, like were no brainers to get boosted. They're beautiful, but none of them have been boosted. So,
Yeah,
uh,
it was a tough year. It was a
yeah,
tough
oh yeah.
time period for me. So,
Sorry, I'm not coming after you at all.
oh no, no, I know that.
And it's our friend Ariel who launched the whole boost program and made it amazing. Aside, Lawrence and I both worked with Ariel at Jobster, the first place I got laid off from, and Ariel got laid off from in 2007. So, watching her build this amazing product in the Boost program was also just like incredible to see. And then they let her go. So even Boost don't pay that well anymore. Yeah, they don't. It's nothing compared to what they used to do. So I don't know. I'm sure they have math reasons behind the scenes for why things had to change, but I'm really hoping they can write the economics, write RIGHT, the economics, so that we can write WRITE like with the best again. Most of my best writers have gone. I am almost like my publications are quiet on Medium
I feel like you need to complete that homonym parade and come up with, right, RITE, a ritual that you'll be doing.
yes, I will be committing the right of writing.
Ye-
Hopefully tonight.
Yes,
Um,
well done. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing up the third piece of the homonym. I do love a good homonym.
Yes, yes.
Um, in case this wasn't nerdy enough for all of you, we
Is
just
there
went full
another one?
homonym. Hmm? Right, 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 right. I think that's
WRIGHT, a
right.
shipwright, right? A creator, a crafter.
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
answer is yes.
yes.
There
Is it?
is.
Okay. Okay. Well, way to go on the homonyms. Um, we should probably go soon because my morning tea is just about gone and I need
Oh,
to.
yes.
What?
Well, that's the measure of how long we can stay on alive.
Yes, and I think before we go though, anyone in the comments working on a story right now and want to like write a message here about what you're writing about?
Ooh, yes. Tell us, and we'll share it. We'll restack. We'll
Yeah.
comment and love and
Yes.
subscribe.
So we haven't even talked about this yet, Lawrence, but our daily our daily chats here, the daily whatever, we're going to reshare these, right? We're going to post it after it's alive.
Yeah,
So we can if you tell us now what you're writing about and then come back to the story, we can like tell us when it's live so we can go restack it. We
mm,
want to elevate everybody here because we all got to help each other out. We had Hi Inside Out Trance. That's a cool username.
that's an
Um,
amazing name. Now I want to read what you write because that's such an incredible username.
it is. Anyone want to share something that they're writing today? No pressure, but if you've got a story,
No pressure, but if you're going to join these audience participation calls, expect to be called on or added to the live at any moment.
oh my god, that would be hilarious. In a future one of these, we should pick a person at random and bring them on to talk with us.
Yeah,
It's like when you go to one of like a vaudeville show or you're at like Disneyland at some thing and
right.
they're like,
Or improv, where like if you sit in the front
oh,
row, you're likely to be pulled up on stage.
right. Right. There's that word again.
Hmm.
We will definitely need to do that surprise, a surprise live. Well, I think everyone is being a bit shy. Or, oh wait, here we got one. I got one. Your personal branding is low key. Can you just type? I love that you're putting it in here. Oh, here we go. Um, I have something. This is from Sarah. I'm working on, but I'm not sure what to share about it yet. Other than it's about the process I've gone through after my dad passing in 2023. Oh, Sarah, I'm sorry that you lost your dad. And if you need, I have been toying with the idea of starting like a weekly memoirist live where just people can come in and we can talk about writing.
Well, that's a
Um,
really good idea.
yeah.
I love
Um,
that idea. And Greg, I've gone to your link. So Greg is writing about how your personal
that's it.
branding is low key trash and how to improve it. Which I should read because I'm not sure that my personal brand is anything other than silly voices and being flamboyantly queer on video.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Walter has a story too. I've got a story about how I used to disassociate In order to deal with my harsh rural upbringing, I'd go straight to fantasy. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a good one.
Sunny just joined.
Sunny!
That's amazing.
Oh
Walter,
my,
I would love to read your story. I can't wait until it's done. And Sunny, hello.
oh my gosh. Sunny is another one of my favorite people who's here. Yeah, it's all going. We're all disassociating every day, Walter, to deal with reality.
I
Um,
think you meant the story. Oh, well, I don't know. Actually, Walter,
yes.
what did you mean? I read that as like the story was a work in progress, but maybe you mean we're all disassociating every day, which, valid.
Yeah, valid for sure. I saw Sunny last night. We're both right. Oh, good. That's my favorite. Sunny and I went out for a drink and yummy food in Fremont, in Seattle. And it was the cutest little spot. I'd never been there before. And I posted a photo of us,
You
on
did,
a note
and
last
you
night.
both look amazing. Sunny, your hair looks gorgeous. Uh,
Always. Sunny
you,
is my curl inspiration. She just,
yeah, you both looked incredible in that photo,
yes. And you're joining us for the tail end here, Sunny. Everything I say has multiple meanings. Yeah, like right.
right?
Homonyms and multiple meanings and the weave. We're taking back the weave. Thank you.
I
Um,
think we should probably wrap it. We're right at an hour, and this has been a great inaugural episode of the Daily Whatever.
Daily whatever.
And
Uh,
apparently, we're going to do this every day for the rest of our lives.
oh my gosh, Greg has been on a 2-year job search. Greg, we feel for you. That's
Oh, Greg. Oh my God. Yeah. My friend, I absolutely feel that and am wishing you the best of luck. I'm obviously swimming through the same thing at the moment, and it
yeah, to give you heart here. So during the week, I have pledged to do this, and I just don't know if I can, but I'm going to try because I'm not a morning person. 7 a.m. Pacific time weekdays. 10 a.m. Eastern time. Lawrence and I are going to be at this shit. And on the weekends, we're going to do it. We're going to do the daily whatever, whenever the fuck we get to it, because
yeah,
weekends, I am not getting up at 7 in the morning.
yeah.
But we're going to, during the week for sure, make this a daily thing and hopefully on weekends as well. Because we all got to stick together. Community, man. That's, that's where I get my sense of home, Lawrence.
And if you've got topics that you want us to talk about or that you want to join and talk about, jump into our chat. The Gen XE chat is open to everybody, and jump in there and let us know. And we can absolutely work that into our next day conversation.
Yes. Great. Well, I hope you all have wonderful days wherever you are in your day, and wherever the world you are. Love you,
Good
me.
night, everybody. Love you, mean it. Bye.